when you dominated Kawhi Leonard, you dominated LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So now, Kawhi Leonard, I am back. What it do, baby? What it do, baby?
And in the words of my man, Drip Bayless, we back. And trust me, I know it's been a minute. I know I'm gonna hear, watch where you been at. And I have a legitimate reason for that. I will explain all that. But for the time being, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Today, I will be performing a mid-bald fade with beard sculpting and enhancements. So, my dog finna leave looking clean. I don't know what y'all think. I know y'all seen the trailer, so man, let's get straight to it. Canvas preparation is a must. It's a must. So please prepare your client's canvas. My routine is always as follows. I start with the shampoo wash, blow dry the hair, and then comb it through. I know that these steps provide me the best possible outcome, and they just haven't failed me yet. So I'm a firm believer in shampooing your client's hair and then making sure it's clean and ready to work. And with my Oster fast feeds, no guard closed, I go ahead and make my initial guideline. And as you can see, I used a little tactic with my comb and just ran it through the client's hair, kind of creating a soft, impermanent part. And so if you're unsure about where to start your initial guideline, I suggest using that tactic. It may prove you useful. So go ahead and try it out next chance you get. See how it works for you and let me know your thoughts. And now we'll go ahead and move that lever open, take it up about 1/2 inch, and just creating our second guideline. This is the area where I've always struggled with. I never gave myself enough room to blend. So please, when doing this, give yourself enough room to blend. And notice how I'm combing the hair down every few strokes. This is just my way of making sure that I'm giving every little piece of hair that may be otherwise moved by the clipper. And as you'll see, I'm not bringing the guideline all the way to the back of all the way around, I am bringing it to the back of the head and just working my way back right. Each time you'll notice I adjust the lever just a little bit more to where this line is completely removed. You see me bring that lever just a little bit closer, and then we're finally getting that smooth blend that we were looking for. You see, I'll stretch the skin. So go ahead and use your thumb of the opposite hand that you're cutting with, pull away from the direction in which you're cutting. And that just allows you to get a crisper cut, in my opinion. It's called stretching the skin. And now you'll see it finally coming together. We're getting that blend that we anticipated. And as you can see, I'm just going through and using the corner technique and detailing the final aspects of that bottom blend. With the Andes 1.5 guard all the way closed, we're gonna go through and debulk the parietal ridge area. I start off going with the grain just so I can make sure that I'm keeping that parietal ridge dense and dark. He was growing his hair out, so I know we were doing the curl attempt, and I wanted the blend to be seamless at the end. Lever open, now going against the grain, still working at the top of that fade. And what I want you guys to notice is that we have strategically attacked the bottom of the fade, and I'm currently working on the top of the fade. When you handle the beginning and the end, it's easier to figure out the middle. That's what I'm trying to say. So we got the bottom of the fade buttered. We got the top of the fade blended. Now it's just the middle. It's light work. While I know we are using the number 1 guard, I am not sure if the lever is open or closed. Because personally, once I get into the groove of cutting, I'm kind of just doing lever play. And that's one thing I have to get better at with YouTube tutorials. It's kind of, I just get in my groove and forget, you got to show people how you're doing this. You know what I'm saying? So trust me, that's going to get better. And while I could talk about this stuff all day, I understand that time is precious and I don't want to keep talking about how to do a fade. If you are new to the channel and you still want some more practice with the fades, I do have other videos on fades, so go ahead and check those out. But since I want to get into other aspects of the service, I'm going to go ahead and speed up this part so we can get into the debulking, the other side of the fade, and then the beard. here's our first look at the right side of the fade. So after all those processes, this is what we get in our fade. And while there can be a little more detail work, I'm pretty content with the outcome of that. As you see, I take my Andis T outliners, modify skeletons, and go ahead and just get the bottom as bald as possible. I'm not going to use the shaver, so this is as low as I'll go. And because these trimmers are modified, I'm pretty confident in their ability. And now we work our way around. I got half of the fade done. Now it's time for the left side. And right now I have my half guard on. For those that are confused, that is the number 0 guard for the Andis magnetic guard set. And I'm just going through and cleaning up. I believe it's just the last one I had on, so that's why I'm working with it. And then I'll transition very quickly to no guard open and clean up everything beneath that. And so now I'm just perfecting the bottom of that fade, making sure everything is blending seamlessly and working my way up. Shout out my brother Banks for the camera adjustment. Y'all think this YouTube tutorial stuff is easy, man, but it's really hard to do two things at once. When your focus is on the cut, it's on the cut. But you gotta remember to press record, you gotta remember to do all that stuff. So I appreciate his help while he has some downtime. Now we got that number 1 guard as you've seen, and I'm gonna go with the grain, continue to remove areas of density, and then I'm gonna flip it around, man. We'll go against the grain, and as I do that, you will notice that area that you and I are both staring at, and you'll see that quickly disappear, because you could tell there's just too much there. But I'm not rushing it. I'm just understanding and continuing to follow my procedures and steps to fading. And so I sped the clip up just so we could see the fade come together just a little bit faster. I appreciate your patience and thank you for tuning in thus far. We just got a little bit left and then we'll get into this beard work. At this point, I'm just gonna focus on this parietal ridge that I feel has a lot of density. And the best way of attacking, in my opinion, is doing clipper over comb. And this comb by Motive Pro is really great for clipper over comb because you could tell that on one side, it's wide tooth, and on the other half, it's very small gap. And so when I wanna take just a little here, I'm gonna use the wide side. But when I wanna take off more density than normal, I'm gonna use the small tooth. So you see I started out with the wide and then transitioned to the small side. And to help it make sense, think of it in relation to the clipper versus trimmer. Usually on clippers, the teeth are wider on the blade, and on trimmers, the teeth are closer. And simply said, the wider the teeth, the less hair I'll grab. The smaller the teeth, the more hair I'll grab. So keep that in mind when you're using clipper over comb techniques. Now we getting started on this beard work. So my man, as you can see, keeps his beard very full and very thick. So all I'm doing is just lightly tapering the very top of that blend so that it transitions very smoothly into the fade. While my tapering for the beard is very much like my fading process, one point of reference that I like to use is the bottom of the client's ear. So in this situation, I don't want to remove too much density to where I feel that the taper goes beneath his ear. And what I use to reference that is really just whether the hair is brushable or combable. So for me, I want everything above the bottom of his ear to be brushable. And then starting at that earlobe down, combable. So next time you're fading a beard with this much density, see how those reference points work for you. And as always, we're just gonna repeat on the other side. Same process, same steps. So I know a lot of barbers who have a routine and they just stick to it. Me, man, if I see something, I have to attack it. So although I was working on his beard, I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and attack this hairline. So that's what happened. So here we are. I got my Gold FX Babeless trimmers, which are a great trimmer by the way. And I'm starting in the middle and I'm just slowly tapping and pulling down. There's no reason to rush when doing a hairline. Take your time. Make sure you're getting every little hair that you intend to grab with those trimmers and just work across. I believe in keeping the lineup as natural as possible. So although I see he's thinning in the corners, it's not really that bad to where I feel the need to push the lineup back. It's definitely preservable, and that's kind of why I use the enhancements for this video, just to show how you can revive a line when your client may be thinning. For his sidebar, I recognized he had a good amount of new growth, so I just try to preserve it as best I can, and I brought it out about 1 centimeter. Now, dealing with new growth in an already thinning area, it's not really defined as much as we would like. However, when I apply the Barber pencil, you'll get a better understanding of how I'm restructuring the hairline. And now we work on the right side, constantly referring back to the middle, making sure we're maintaining the symmetry. So now we get to the best part, in my opinion. When I looked over the footage, this is definitely the part that I was most excited about. And you will definitely see why by the end of this clip. I promise you, when I'm done with this beard, you will see why. Let me shut up, man. As I'm sure you would have expected, our first step in this service is hydrating the beard, making sure that we're opening up those pores and preparing the beard for the wash. Next, we apply the beard wash and go ahead and lather it in as best as we can. So he has a very thick beard, so I think I go back and grab some more. Yeah, here we go. So I go back, get some more lather. It's okay to be generous with the soap. You cannot overwash a beard. You can underwash a beard, but you can't overwash a beard. So go ahead and lather it up as best as you can. And be mindful when performing this procedure that you are using your massage manipulations. Remember, this is a service, so you want this to feel good to the client. You want them to feel soothed, feel lathered, feel pampered, and all that. These are the small considerations that only improve and increase your value as a barber. So if you're not already doing these things, please take the necessary education courses and just invest in yourself and just watch the return. Now, following the hot towel, we're going to want to go ahead and blow dry and comb out the beard. Now, you can do this one of two ways. You can have your blow dryer and use a pick, or you can have a tool such as this. I don't know the name off the top of my head, but it's just a beard comb. Essentially, that's all it is. So if you look up beard comb on Amazon, I'm sure this will eventually pop up. Although I enjoy this product, it kind of limits you when you're dealing with situations like this. People who have fuller beards, it's really hard to dry and shape the beard when the comb isn't long enough. So as you can see here, I'm just trying to get underneath the neck, but it's not really giving me the shape that I desire. So I do end up resulting to just the regular blow dryer and the pick. That's really how I'm gonna get the beard to its full length so I can properly shape it. But if you deal with less curly beards, or maybe they're just shorter, I would definitely recommend this tool. If you have any intention on offering this service, this is a steal. Go ahead and cop you one. So now just picking his beard out so we can achieve that maximum fullness. So I'm strictly just shaping the beard rather than removing too much of the main bulk. Now, as barbers, I know we understand the idea of contrast. So I applied this white towel to achieve just that. If you look up the dictionary definition of contrast, you'll see that it says the action of calling attention to notable differences. So essentially, adding this white towel allows me to see those loose hairs, which better suits me and helps me analyze what hair I need to cut. This timing of this next angle couldn't be any better because it exactly describes what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. You see the density of where his beard lies and then where the start of those loose hairs begin. And so when shaping a beard, that's what you want to attack. Now we got two completely different looks. If you just analyze the untouched side compared to the right side I just completed, you see how much sharper, how much cleaner, how more groomed his beard truly is. And that's what you want to achieve through this service. So We're just gonna go through and shape it as best we can. I'm not gonna speed the clip up because I want you guys to see every aspect of how I'm going about this. I've never really done the beard service in a tutorial, so I'm not gonna speed this part up. Given it's my first time, I want y'all to see every little part of it. So enjoy. And man, shout out to my guy Terry, bro. Every time that he pulls up in Dallas, because he now lives out of the state, it's much love, man. He always pulls up and gets a cut, and I'm just thankful for him. And for those who don't know about Terry, when I moved to Dallas in 2019, this guy sent me so much business. I had started over from scratch, not one client. And this dude was sending me clients and hadn't even got cut by me, ever. You know, I'm like, you know, I was doing a house call for this FC Dallas player. And he was like, yeah, man, this guy Terry told me about you. And I'm like, man, who's Terry? Like, I don't know a Terry. And he showed me his page. I'm like, oh, man, that guy hit me up about a cut, but I never cut him before. So this is crazy. And I will forever tell that story whenever I speak on Terry's name, because the guy didn't even know me. He never even got cut by me. Dude just supported from jump. You know, for strangers to support you how they do, man, it's a blessing. And I'm thankful for him and many others who have done the same. So Terry, thank you, bro. And now we're just doing our final sculpting of the beard. And although I say that, I'm pretty sure I go back in the end and do some more detail work, because of course, details do make the difference. Also, quick tip for the day. When you're reconstructing a hairline, I would highly recommend a Barber pencil. For some, I know they just rather line the hair up and use the natural ash line that they get, but when you're dealing with a client with a different complexion, or potentially they have an overactive sebaceous glands and their skin may not be able to hold that natural ash line, it's okay to use this. You know, this is what I would recommend if you're dealing with that situation. So what I appreciate about clients who let me do these tutorials is they usually give me creative freedom. So I'm able to do whatever comes to mind or whatever would improve the tutorial as a whole. And so although Terry isn't a guy who gets a lot of color on his beard or in his lineup, he allowed me the freedom to do so. And what I'm using on the beard is Kiss Express semi-permanent dye. I'm not sure if it's K98 or K89. And me personally, I prefer the semi-permanent over the permanent dye. I believe it's easier to use and the application process is fairly seamless once you get the hang of it. And overall, it just gives it that natural look that we desire. Still sharp, still clean, still crisp. Notice how I'm applying the color right beneath the new growth. This allows me to maintain a more realistic structure to his beard. Always being sure to refer back to the left side, but I use the corner of his mouth as a reference point for where to start the color. Now I found myself in a situation where I think I applied too much color. So what I do in this situation is go ahead and get a towel, apply some alcohol to it, and just work on that area that I felt I overly used the enhancement. And y'all know I don't ever make myself out to be this perfect barber. I get it right every time, because I don't. And I never want to give off that vibe, which is why I really appreciate these YouTube tutorials, because I have the option to edit this out, but I feel like many people may be able to benefit from this and understand, you know, all right, I need to be attentive to oversaturation. And I don't want to tell you how to do your service, because at the end of the day, do whatever works best for you, but just practice mindfulness. Using our cordless air compressor, I don't know the name of it, copped it off Amazon. I would endorse it, but this is like my fourth one, so I'm not gonna do that. And of course, you're going to be needing some type of business card. This allows you to protect the client's forehead from color and keep that lineup as sharp as possible. Now we got our fresh straight razor in our holder, and we're gonna go ahead and taut the skin, meaning we want to stretch the skin with no slack, which is something you always want to do when doing razor work, whether that's the back of the head, whether that's the beneath the neck, the top of the lip. Be sure to stretch that skin. Another way of doing this is asking the client to puff out their cheek or otherwise put air in it, which is just another form of creating tension. And just doing my last minute detail work. This is probably my favorite part because I'm just focused on the nitty gritty, figuring out, hey, is everything as it should be? You know what I'm saying? Making sure every hair is in its place. If you've made it this far in the tutorial, I appreciate you and thank you so much. I know I've been absent from my YouTube content, and although I can come up with a million excuses, there really is no reason. I could attribute it to the move, started from scratch, taking time off, whatever, but I just had to refine my love and my passion for doing this. So thank you for sticking with me throughout this whole journey. I appreciate you so much. So here we have the final look. My guy looks like money. I don't know what he did this day, but I can guarantee it was one of the top 10 days of his life. If you like this tutorial, if you want to see more, please comment, like, and subscribe. Man, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Looking forward to the next one. Love.